chosen one. You did not come here to regurgitate reality. You came here onto this planet to create a brand new reality, and you also did not come here to fit into the boxes or standards of individuals who are brainwashed by this current reality. Do you understand? You did not come here to play by the rules that are outdated, corrupt, that infringe on divine will, that infringe on the basic rights of human beings as divine beings. Like, you did not come here to play into a broken system. You came here to create a new system. That's exactly how and why you are chosen. You will know if you are chosen because you have divine communication. It's that simple. It's that simple. Also, you will know because you don't want to be chosen, and you'll also know because you have always stood out from everybody around you, and you probably went through a lot of your difficult karma early in your life. So now for the rest of your life, you can live out your purpose because you went on a spiritual journey and you found self and you found God within self. This is how you know you're chosen. If you do not fit into this category, I am sorry. You are, probably on your way there. But remember that God does not call the chosen, or no, I'm so sorry. God does not strengthen the called. No, I'm so sorry. What is it? He does not call the strong. He strengthens the called. So if you are called, it is preceded. This has been decided before you've been born. This precedes your birth. It's been written into your Akashic records. It's been written into your life purpose. It's been written into your destiny. It's been written into your soul contract that yes, this individual will do X, Y, and Z. They have come to Earth on a mission, and they will do it. And the thing is, a lot of individuals who are in the public eye currently, who are, chosen ones of God, a lot of them don't know it because they've been so used to living under management or within the music industry or just within, the public eye, that they don't understand that they're actually chosen and they're actually here to create a new reality on top of this reality, and they don't have to play in to outdated or predatory or abusive structures, and they learn this over time. They will understand that, oh, okay, this structure is bad for me. It's bad for my soul. Let me leave, right? And so that's why we see a lot of artists switching management and all this stuff. But a lot of people who have gone on the spiritual quest and spiritual journey of living out their talents, living out their highest timeline, literally, they've been on a spiritual journey. This is the Wizard of Oz spiritual journey. You go down this yellow brick road with the parts of you outside of yourself, your heart, your brain, your courage, it's outside of you. Then you meet the wizard, you receive enlightenment, and then these parts of you become integrated within you. The Tin Man finds his heart, the lion finds his courage, whatever, because on the way there, the process of soul evolution is completed. You see? So, if you've been on this journey, then you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And actually, the tarot correctly illustrates, all the arcana of the tarot illustrates this journey. You start with the Fool card, you end with the Fool card. You go all the way back around. You start with the Fool card, you eventually end up at the World, right? Completion. And then 0 again. You go back to the Fool. So it's important that people understand what life is. Life is one big spiritual journey. And it doesn't matter if you receive this awakening when you're 60 or when you're 16. This is the point of human life. And a lot of people, they don't receive this enlightenment. They don't receive this awakening ever. Actually, they pass out of this body. They shed this body asleep, unawakened. They haven't woken up. And so, you have to take another birth because you are not aware of self, right? So you need to take a birth in order to experience, again, the process of finding self or coming home to self. So the entire point of life is self-realization. The entire point of human life is self-realization, to realize the self. That's the point of human life. And people who get this, they get set free early on in their life because they're not playing into NPC reality. You see, they're not regurgitating reality. They are creating a new reality. They are living their highest timeline and creating a brand new reality. They are creators, Chosen ones are creators. They have tapped into the frequency of the creator, and they live as the creator. Do you understand? They live as God. They embody God, right? That's why they say that if you want Lakshmi to come into your life, Lakshmi, who is the goddess of fortune and wealth and prosperity, and what individuals don't know mostly about her is that she's a nurturer, she's a mother, she's a mother figure, she's the divine feminine. And so if you want Lakshmi in your life, well, you have to become like Vishnu. Lakshmi is Vishnu's consort, or like other half, right? So you have to become like Vishnu. You have to live like Vishnu, like the creator. And so people don't know this, though. So they don't ever understand their own divine creative capabilities. You see, we're very powerful. We're here to realize how to create reality with the power of vibrational frequency, through the power of vibrational frequency. Assumption is everything. Embody the end state now. And prayer is the machine for manifestation. Does that make sense? You've been given a brilliant mind for what? To have anxiety? To play into a broken system? To not invent or not create? No, absolutely not. I think not, right? So when one accepts their divine gifts fully, and they're able to actually integrate the heart, the mind, like all the chakras together, right? This is the, yellow brick road. It's a road. It's the spinal column. It's, the path of enlightenment, essentially. The coiled kundalini energy at the base of the spine rises, and this is the path of enlightenment, the path to enlightenment. So your Christos energy gets awakened, right? Your Christ energy gets awakened. So, these individuals, they tap into a new way of living and being. They become very inventive. They become very creative, passionate. They move with purpose. They live with purpose. That's how and why one who's chosen, goes through a lot of difficulty early on in their life, so the rest of their life can be clear. This is assured. It's assured. It's insurance, basically. That, okay, as a child, I will go through pain, and I will, a lot of individuals who are of this caliber are like adults when they're children. So you are kind of born with this sense of maturity, and you're kind of born with a sense of purpose and leadership and, mission-driven energy. And so a lot of chosen individuals are adults when they are children, which is really, if you know what I'm talking about, then you know. Right? Huge scope of empathy. Eventually it makes you turn numb. You try to fit into society. You have a spiritual awakening as a teenager, a late teenager. And then you live out the rest of your life working on your newfound mission, working on self, developing self, and putting that energy into focused, driven projects with the goal to enlighten and awaken and help other people in the way that you have received help from the divine. It's kind of like, I found the formuoli. I found the ravioli formuoli. How do you say that? And now I have to share this formula with the world, and this formula is information and energy and just purpose, and music, even frequency, right? Creativity in all forms. And so this becomes your goal, this becomes your mission. And so that's why I said a lot of individuals who are in the public eye, they are, chosen by the divine, but they maybe just don't know that they're light workers or what have you. Also, another thing is that if you're chosen, you don't want to be, because the path is very difficult. The path is very difficult. You literally die to yourself many times over, and you are reborn anew many times over, and that shedding process is just hell, because you're going through a lot of shadow work. You're doing shadow work that has been on hold or like waiting for this current lifetime of yours, right? So you're doing shadow work for lifetimes, like previous lifetimes of yours. You're also probably doing shadow work for your ancestors who like never healed, and they were waiting on you to be born in their bloodline so you can do that energetic work and kind of shift the schematics of energy that like passes down from generation to generation, so it goes all the way back and you heal their karma as well. It's a lot of work. And so yeah, one who's chosen definitely does not want to be. It's very difficult. You stand out in every room you're in. You know, people always have a problem with you because your energy is so disruptive. You're a disruptor. You know, you're just different. And so that difference is like often seen as like weird or bad or inappropriate. And so the chosen one gets tricked by the system to conforming. Does that make sense? They get tricked to conform and to stifle their brilliant, beautiful, psychedelic, high frequency, genius energy, and to just be normal, which is the pipeline I mentioned, wherein they experience trauma as a child, they turn numb, and then eventually the numbness gets too much for them, and they have an existential crisis and an awakening, and then they have a spiritual awakening at like the age of, for me, it was 18. And then after that, you know, it's a lot of integration for like a long time. You never leave the path. Like you never stop evolving on a soul level spiritually. You never stop evolving. You are always also integrating new energy that you've tapped into, like higher frequency energy. And your superpower is change. Your superpower is morphing. Your superpower is, you know, you are literally not the same person day to day ever again. Like you never go back to being the same person because you are so adept at shifting through energies, because you understand that every single second we are shifting in and out of dimensions like billions of times per second. So as a chosen, you go with the flow, you go with that flow, you go with the universal flow. So you may also realize that you can like tap in, you know, tap into the psyche of animals. This is where animal communicators like, you know, come in, and you can also probably influence like weather patterns, and you may receive information from the elements, right, from nature. You may learn how to channel or like realize that you are a channel, right, because the human body is electric and we are portals of consciousness. So you eventually tap into that truth that, oh, I'm a vessel for God's creativity to flow through me. It's all very like easy to understand stuff. It's all very obvious stuff, actually. It's just that like the society we live in knows nothing about this, and they will also try to push down this information or make 1313 on my timer, or make it seem weird, or make it seem odd, or make it seem like, whoa, what are you talking about? Like, you're so weird. What do you mean spiritual awakening? That's so woo-woo. I can't see it, so it must not be real. Like, stupidity, right? No ability to dream, no ability to imagine, no ability to understand, no ability to see past the physical, no ability to really stretch their mind, you know, stretch the limitations of the confines of their mind, you know, expand their thinking. It just doesn't happen for most people because everybody's like this or like this, right? And just kind of like feeding their like primal senses. But there's a balance to everything, and the balance of the outer world is the inner world, which if you refine that and perfect that, oh, the possibilities are quite literally endless and infinite, you know. You realize how there are an infinite number of possibilities for every single given possibility and every single given moment of experience of consciousness. So then you tap into the fact that you are a master manifester and that you can manifest any possibility at any point in time. And so people call this like magic or like whatever, and it's just like, it, you know, you can call it whatever you want, but the truth is that human beings are, you know, magicians and like natural scientists of energy, really. And the occult is like the least hidden thing it's like hidden in plain sight, if you will. It's so obvious. God is so obvious. God is so obvious. And yet we go to religion. We will physically take ourselves to like a mosque or temple, which is fine. It's an experience of consciousness, and it's beautiful and it's amazing. But it's not necessary. Nothing is necessary, actually, for spiritual awakening, except the desire to spiritually awaken. So this means that you want it or nothing. Like you are either like dead or you are understanding the truth of all. And that was my personal experience. Like, I did not want to be alive if it meant that I couldn't understand why I was here, you know? And so if that desire is so strong, you will receive answers for your questions. Like, what is the purpose of human life? Why am I here? Who is God? What is God? What is his connection to me? Do we have a connection? Is he, here or there? Where is he? Who am I as a person, as a soul? What is my purpose for being on this planet, physically? Do I have a mission? What is that mission? How do I live out that mission, right? So much. And then who am I? That question is so packed. Like, you can take that back multiple lifetimes, and really you can access the record of you. You can access your own Akashic records and understand who you are. And that understanding, it's spiritual understanding. So it's not just in words, it's not just in symbology, it's not just in memory, it's not just in picture. It's in frequency and vibration, which results in all other things. And just exploring yourself, exploring the self, can be your entertainment and fascination and job and study for like your entire life. And that can lead to you creating such beautiful things and beautiful businesses, as it has done for me, and beautiful mission statements. And it can really align you with why you're here, and it can really allow for you to realize that the reason why you're here is multifaceted. There are many different answers to that. There are many different purposes that you hold within you, and you, my friend, are also many different people. Do you understand? You are many different people and identities. Like, you are not just one. You can even access, because the mind accesses points of consciousness, right? So a lot of people's minds access the points of consciousness that they've been fed by society, including social media, right? So if I give you a word, like a buzzword, your mind will instantly go to the definition that a lot of people agree on for that word, right? Like cringe. If I were to like say the word cringe, you would feel that, right? And you would attribute that to like a content creator, or like what is cringe, right? Cringe is like, oh, somebody who's like taking risks, right? So this is all programming, you understand? And the whole of the English language is programming. But basically it's hive mentality, and they've done such a good job of kind of getting you fractionalized from yourself, getting you away from yourself, so that you don't tap into the soul, which is so quiet. Like, the language of the soul is so silent, so unless and until we tap in really to who we are as a soul, we will keep being programmed and thinking that our identity is the sum total of what we're fed, by society. Our identity is the sum total of the feedback we receive from other people. That's how to create a very good slave, and that's a problem, because we're not slaves. We're not at all good slaves or bad slaves or slaves to begin with. So, the deprogramming process is the process of the spiritual awakening. It's beautiful. It takes years as well, and it's something that we're all on, but like we don't realize that, like, I'm gonna burn this after. It's like really annoying me. We're just gonna light it on fire. I'm just kidding. But we're all on a spiritual journey. Like, we're all on a spiritual process, and if you don't realize it, that's the pain that we feel, throughout life from different things that happen in life, because we don't realize that everything is trying to get us to awaken. You know, every pain we experience is trying to get us to awaken to the truth of who we are as infinite beings, and nothing is ever lost. Nothing is ever a problem. Nothing is ever out of our control. We create everything that we are currently experiencing, from past thoughts, past assumptions, a past reality, a past identity, right? That we believed to be true. We believed it to be true, so in some way it manifested. So knowing this, oh great, we're back in the driver's seat of like perfect autonomy, of perfect creative control over reality itself. Like, we've always been in the driver's seat. That's the thing. It's just that we don't know that we're in the driver's seat. So we think things happen to us, and then we experience pain in life. And this pain is actually trying to get you to awaken to the truth of who you are as an infinite being, an infinitely intelligent being who's always creating and always manifesting with their moment by moment thought and with their moment by moment energy and frequency. Is it scary? A little bit. You know, your power is so potent that, like, maybe it is a little terrifying, but knowing how to control it is what you are attempting to be taught here, right? So, you know, that's how and why, like, when we pray, you know, we are back in the driver's seat, right? Because we realize and understand that, okay, quite literally, like, Jesus, like, take the wheel, right? And so where are we? You know, we're also in the driver's seat with him, with God. So we're not, you know, somewhere else, and God is not somewhere else. Like, we're always with God in anything we do, and any, you know, endeavor we take on, or anything that happens to us, all has been given the stamp of approval by God first for us to experience. So it's all good. It's all good. Nothing to worry about ever. Nothing to worry about ever. Like, life is so fun. And you are here to realize and remember that you are a creative being full of infinite creative potential. And you can create your moment by moment reality with your current frequency, with your current vibrational state of being. You know, that's just how powerful you are. You know, and eventually if you shed more and more of the self, if you remove more and more layers of weight of identification with mass, with matter, what happens is you really just realize that you are the soul, you sit within the soul, and then manifestation becomes instant. Like, you understand how to manifest instantly because you're tapped into the present moment, you're tapped into the now moment. How do you think I'm channeling? My consciousness is here with you, transmitting. I am empty. I'm an empty vessel for information to flow through me to you, right? So this is an example of being used by God, you know, to carry out the mission. Or, you know, this is also an example of me being in my creative element and realizing that I am the creator, because I am is God's state, and God's state powers through us, to us and through us. You see, we're non-separate from God. We're always connected to him. So we have that channel open. You see what I mean? And if you're still here, and if you're still watching this, then you've been needing to hear this information that can hopefully now change your entire life, because you have always been in control. Everything that has happened to you, right? You have set the precedent. You have set the tone, vibrationally speaking, way ahead of time. Sometimes even lifetimes before this one. That's called karma. You know, and you can change your karma. You can change your karma. How? Through prayer, through surrender of your life, literally, through surrender of the self to the feet of the divine, to the feet of the all-knowing and all-powerful. And it's like, okay, great. You know, my life is what? I don't take anything with me when I pass away. I even shed the body. So you put me here, right? So I will, you know, do whatever you want me to do, basically. Like, it's that simple. And then your life becomes blessed beyond. Like, blessed beyond, you know, because you are not, you know, taking from the planet. You are giving to the planet. And so you are an abundant resource. You are a source. You are source consciousness itself. And so this is how you can create wealth, create money, create businesses, like, create whatever you want. But it's not for that sake anymore, because it just comes. And you're not attached to it. I'm giving you the secret literally to get what you want in any case. Like, this law applies to any scenario. What I have just given you during this transmission is a combination, by the way, of teachings of Neville Goddard, Abraham Hicks, Christ, Lord Shri Krishna, and I have other teachers that I study, but I'm giving you some of my teachers, so in case you want to study under them as well, this is who I reference and this is who I study under. So, yes, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Again, if you know in your soul that you've been chosen by God to maybe correct some things in your bloodline, maybe correct some things in humanity, maybe really save the planet in a way through your own energy in the ways that you can, if you've been in a way kind of feeling that you've been called, I really want to say, instead of chosen, I'm going to start saying called, because I feel like that's more appropriate for the definition of being chosen, because a lot of people hear that and they think of like I don't know, there's ego attached to that word, do you know what I mean? And so actually the whole premise of being chosen is that your ego dissolves, which is a very painful process. That's why people who are chosen don't want to be. It's very hard. It's a very self-sacrificial life. But anyway, so if you're called by God to, in a way, live out a purpose that is much bigger than you, let me know in the comment section. I'll be reading them, and you can also email me if you have an experience that has been similar to me. I would love to hear your story. And I think that we should collectively each start telling our story online also. Like, this is something that I've been recently doing, is just like yapping. Well, I always yap actually, but like yapping and telling my story personally as to like how my spiritual awakening has been and like what has happened in my life. And so I think that is really also helping anybody who watches it, because I feel as though people can relate to that, okay, like, it's like relatable. But ultimately, yeah, I want to hear your personal story, and tag me in your YouTube videos, guys. Like, I want every single person watching this to like go make a YouTube channel after you hear this, because like, see, there's a spiritual way to use every single thing we've been given as a tool, as a resource to carry out our divine mission here. And social media is such a great resource. It's such a great tool. I also have a school community where we can all join. And in that community, I post things relating to this topic. It's really only specifically for people that can resonate with what I'm saying here. When you felt called by God to lead a certain mission, to maybe even build a business, to step into your talents, gifts, skills, abilities, your divinity, your natural creative energy, and to lead with that. So my school community is mainly for leaders that are already established in some way within their divine purpose. And so if that sounds like something you would be interested in, it is down below for you to access as well. I have courses on there. I have videos on there that I have made just for you. I have guided meditations. I have a bunch of external resources too that you can study from. There are ebooks, PDFs. Like, I've spent the whole summer creating it, so you can check it out down below as well. And I love you guys very much. Thank you for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, comment, like I said, and subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this. And I will talk to you in the next one.